Taylor asked us a question, and this was a good one from last week's podcast. I managed to catch it before it disappeared in the comments, but he asked a very good question that I really want to get to here. And he says, with the 90s animated X-Men series, X-Men 97, do you think that they could do the same to the 90s Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Hulk, Silver Surfer shows, because they were all part of a shared universe? And
Yes.
honestly, I want to say I deeply believe they will, and a part of me thinks they might just be crazy enough to actually do that because, again, if we just take a step back to when they started to scrap all the Disney cartoons and everything, and all the shows, Hulu and everything, the news that hit was they want to build a cartoon universe that's kind of like an equivalent of the MCU. X-Men 97, probably the most beloved and recognizable Marvel cartoon of all time. It's the smartest choice ever to just go, hey, remember those other shows connected to it? Check out what happens with Spider-Man. Do you guys want another season potentially after it leaves off on a giant cliffhanger? Here you go. And that 90s nostalgia factor right now is peaking in pop culture. And it's starting to, in the next couple of years, it's going to be just like the 80s was a decade ago. So
I hate that the 90s is now the decade. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
It's not right. God damn it. It's not right.
Yep. So, I mean, I believe that they will test bed this, and I will not be surprised if at some point in X-Men 97, we legit see some of those characters show up updated, and it's okay, I'm in. It's...
I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they could actually get spectacular back.
At this point, I honestly think they could. Here, I'm going to make a bold prediction on that one as well. He's going to show up in the Spider-Verse film.
Yeah, he could do.
Because,
could do.
They got everything going, honestly, in animation that they're even sharing with Sony. And again, the complexity of the old 90s cartoons was they were Fox Animation. But again, they were licensed Marvel things. They were tied in with Toy Biz, which was Avi Arad's thing. It is... Those licenses were all over the place, and if they worked it out for X-Men, which was the most complex one to work out because of so many things, there's so many things that they can do with this that I really do hope that they kind of just figure this out and go, hey, here's that thing, because trying to build out a whole new cartoon universe from the ground up, that's a lot of groundwork, especially
especially when you have a 90s one right there, and you have the 2010s with Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and you can get spectacular there. It's right there.
Yeah.
Just use that. You've got a little animated multiverse right off the bat there. Just do that. Just get them all back. If it got cancelled, pick it back up again. Just go.
Yeah. Well, 100% agree. So hopefully we get something soon. I mean, that series is going to hit us next year. We kind of learned that through Disney, so hype. When we get to that,
is anyone going to punch each other? Is the question. Will Spider-Man punch someone? Will Wolverine actually use his claws on someone? Will Morph be okay? Is what I need to know.
Will anybody overact like Spider-Man against Shocker? Shocker! Oh my God, he's actually going to kill that dude.
God.
Truly, Zack Snyder was the blueprint. I mean, Spider-Man was about to kill Shocker. Amazing stuff there. Because we got to slightly rearrange the show, I'm just going to jump onto another Q&A here. This one coming from who else but John, of course. Of course, John, once again, strikes with his Q&A. And he brings up now, we got all the Marvel shows over on Disney. They're all here. You'll be able to watch them by the end of the year, every single territory. So it's good. People are going to discover them. He says, considering Iron Fist, could Marvel try to use the new Iron Fist? If people don't know, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is a new Iron Fist, and it's an Asian character. That's all I'm going to say. If you're interested, I highly suggest checking it out, because it looks like the series is going to be amazing by the time it's over. The first issue was pretty good. He says, could they use that type of route to reintroduce Danny into the MCU? A sort of soft reboot where... the new character comes into the mantle, and then they kind of deal with the whole Iron Fist situation, needing to pass the power and everything. So,
I think you keep Danny Rand out of it for as long as possible. You can still say those shows are canon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Feedback. That's weird. But yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean,
is there anyone else hearing now? Is it just me?
It might be just you, because I'm not hearing nothing.
Oh, it's like a real weird staticky noise.
Oh, I hate it when that happens occasionally.
It might be my headphones, but yeah. What? Because where Iron Fist season 2 left off, right? Danny's gone somewhere, so you don't have to acknowledge Danny for a while, and you can you can bring Colleen Wing back in. She's the Iron Fist you follow. You say she hasn't heard from him like since the blip, and then you can have that be a reveal that he comes back, but it's not Finn Jones, obviously. You get someone who can act and actually wants to do the stunts. You do it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I personally.
Honestly, that's kind of the way to do it. I think I don't think you call it Iron Fist. I think you call it like the Immortal Weapons Iron Fist. You got to give it something else that kind of tells you that there's a bigger saga. The Immortal
you got to give it that soft reboot title.
Yeah, like maybe the Immortal Iron Fists. And maybe you put together a tournament like you say, okay, Danny's gone. We don't know. Colleen is technically, she's got like the power because she can light the sword up. She's a descendant of an old Iron Fist, which clearly could connect to Shang-Chi. And they go, okay, right? Somebody's got to fight this dragon. We're going to hold a tournament, and then somebody's going to go fight it. Who? Introduce your new Asian Iron Fist that you have in the comics. It's a perfect way to kind of segue it in there. Keep it self-contained in a pocket little universe for a part of it. Like, it's kind of like, if you just look at Iron Fist comics, you go, oh yeah. Like, it kind of writes itself in such a basic format that it's not that challenging, really. So,
yeah.
I would hope, but yeah, I feel like Iron Fist...
The tricky one's Luke Cage for me. I don't know, because I wasn't a fan of where they left him and what they did with him.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know how that works.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, you can do, you can do whatever. You haven't even got to bring her back. Well, you bring the character back, he doesn't necessarily need another show, unless you have Hellcat come out and she's actually Hellcat proper this time. But
right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like out of everybody, I think Iron Fist is the simplest, and then everybody else you could kind of look and go, well, Luke Cage, he's had his time, but again, there you could be like, oh, when the blip happened, he realized maybe I'm becoming a villain. I'm gonna fix this. Okay, he fixed Harlem. Cool. Like, it's.
Yeah.
I guess.
He comes back and he sees that Kingpin's like taking his stuff, and he's like, you know what? No. I'm broke. I'm going to have to become a hero for hire.
Exactly. So there you go. Kind of quick thoughts on that. So thanks for the another Q&A, our final Q&A before we get to the big topic here. And this is from Eric. We know Eric. We of course know Eric from the group. I mean,
yeah.
If you don't know Eric, you've never checked out the group, so I don't know what to tell you. But he has something here. He asks, and with everything that's currently going on with Sony's Spider-Man universe, from the Daily Bugle newspaper that shows up in Venom Let There Be Carnage and in Morbius trailers, to the Oscorp building showing up in Morbius and Michael Keaton making a cameo, do you guys think that the events of Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home happen in these universes, but they happen slightly differently to fit Sony's needs? And I never honestly thought of that, but that actually might be the smartest thing Sony could say and backpedal their way into continuity. Yeah. Like,
it's that, hey, it's a different timeline, but it's nearly identical.
Yeah, like
a bit like the like how Endgame played out the Avengers. Obviously, with the whole Loki bit, it's like it's the exact same timeline. It's just this event was different here.
Exactly, and like you could even like intelligently write that into the narrative where it's like just Madam Web. It's a piece of the explanation when her movie shows up and Tom Holland is there. But legally, Tom Holland's suit, whenever he appears in a Spider-Man film made by Sony only, is going to have to be different. So you could write for that discrepancy in there being like, oh, here's a quick clip. See what happened over here? Yeah, that's a variant of you, but here's Tom Holland and now go with this new one. Like, that's honestly kind of genius because all the heavy work is then done, right? All the heavy lifting and everything's just taken out. It's like, oh,
yeah,
here's your story. And Sony could use all the heavy lifting taken care of because, I mean, good God, Kraven, that's all I got. Like, that's all you need. You're doing a Kraven movie where they're like, this Russian animal poacher is the hero of the story.
Yeah. Only Sony would still be going ahead and actively putting out the. Actually, is he Russian? Is Kraven Russian?
I thought he was. Did they ever change that? Kraven is not somebody I actively try to. I don't care about Kraven. I'm gonna be real with you. So
he's from Russia. So yeah, only Sony would be pushing a Russian character right now. Only Sony would be pushing that.
Oh, it's
especially when they've just, PlayStation's come out and like, yeah, we know all hardware and software is being put on hold in Russia. It's like, no, hey, here's this movie about a big Russian.
Yeah.
Who's an animal poacher on top of that? Like, well done, Sony.
Bless you, Sony. Just bless you, Sony.
Congratulations.
But he's the hero of the story, and he has to fight characters like, and I'm not making this up. They just cast an actor to play the character who is the evil man called the Foreigner.
Oh.
The Foreigner, everybody. It's... This movie has Razzie written all over it, and I'm here for it. Now, I do want to bring this up.
This is the price we pay.
Yeah, this is what we pay, and I do want to bring this up because it's still all part of the whole Spider-Man conversation and everything. If Morbius does good, and I don't know what good is in terms of Morbius, because...
What crack have you been on to even think of that sentence?
How much... Do you think there's still time for them to pull the plug on Kraven if Morbius just bombs? Because they haven't started production as of yet. Like, they're in pre-production right now. So they can... Like, they were in pre-production for Silver and Black. So... they even had suits and actresses fitted in them, and then they scrapped it right before shooting started, and we never learned more details. So I think they could have legitimately, if nobody sees Morbius, go, you know what? We got to rethink this, cancel this Kraven thing, because, oof.
I mean, hopefully, I'll be honest. I doubt it's going to happen because the way Morbius is going is going to get delayed again.
2 weeks before release, guys.
Yeah,
we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, so I think Kraven's going to be filming before Morbius even comes out. So.